Hello everyone and welcome to the Fanatics of Film. My name is Ben and I just had to give my 2 cents on this crazy shakeup that's going on with the possibilities of Henry Cavill leaving. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a huge fan of the Man of Steel film, and everybody talks about how BVS was no good, but you know, the Ultimate Edition is literally 100 times better. And you know, I mean, everybody has mixed feelings about that, but the point is that Henry Cavill is a great Superman. Hopefully he'll remain with us. Talks out broke for a cameo in Shazam due to scheduling conflicts, and the door is now closing on other potential appearances for the actor. So apparently this is just these are rumors. You know, the Hollywood Reporter has been usually pretty credible, and that's what this is from here, the Hollywood Reporter. The DC Cinematic Universe, thank you for calling it that instead of the DCEU, because that's never what it's ever been, and everybody calls it that still. They still call it that. The DC Cinematic Universe appears to be losing its Man of Steel. Henry Cavill, who has played Superman in 3 films, is parting ways with Warner Brothers. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter. The British actor who first donned the blue suit for 2013's Man of Steel and then starred in 2016's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and last year's Justice League, is said to be hanging up the red cape. Warner's had been trying to enlist Cavill, who most recently co-starred in Mission Impossible Fallout, for a Superman cameo in Shazam, which stars Zach Levi and will bow April 5th. Contract talks between Cavill's WME reps and the studio broke down, and the door is now closing on other potential Superman appearances. That is kind of silly. I mean, I get it. Someone else was talking about how, you know, like Iron Man has to appear in there, and I get, but I think it's just like they're not even having Superman as like this priority. I mean, their priorities are Supergirl and these other things. So it's like and it has been established and said so many times, you know, that we haven't even gotten our Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman movie. Like, kind of, I guess BVS was kind of that, but honestly, they should have built all 3 of those. They should have built the Trinity, keeping the Trinity together. So that's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, sure, maybe 20 or 30 people really would rather have a Supergirl movie, but once again, they're following a narrative that is only dictated by a certain few people who are have journalism or pretend to be journalists. There's some people out there who would much rather have a Supergirl movie. That's fine, but you know, get woke, go broke. You know, alienate your fans. Throw everything else aside. So, contract talks between Cavill's WME reps and the studio broke down, and the door is now closing on other potential Superman appearances. That's because Warner's has shifted its focus to a Supergirl movie, which will be an origin story featuring a teen superheroine. This effectively removes an actor of Cavill's age from the storyline's equation, given that Superman, aka Kal-El, would be an infant according... Okay, so yeah, this is pretty ridiculous because you're throwing out everything else that's been established. So, I mean, and they already have a Supergirl TV show that no one's watching. Furthermore, Warner's... I mean, I guess it's okay. How are the ratings in that? So, Warner's isn't likely to make a solo Superman film for at least several years, according to another source. So, like, why should he, like, put aside everything? Like, when you're tossing him, you've tossed him aside for years. why should he sit around and wait for you so that you can put him in 5 minutes or 3 or a minute, you know, of him in another movie? Like, he's got stuff to do. Superman is like James Bond, and after this is what they're saying. Superman is like James Bond, and after a certain run, you have to look at new actors, says a studio source. As such, Cavill will join Ben Affleck, who isn't expected to reprise his role for director Matt Reeves' forthcoming Batman standalone film as a hero on the way out. So, yeah, they had their chance, man. They had their chance to do this. They could have kept it going, and they just dropped the ball on it, you know? We have a great relationship and great respect for Cavill. That continues to remain unchanged. Additionally, we have made no current decisions regarding any upcoming Superman films. Read a statement from Warner Brothers spokesperson after initial publication of this story. A Warner's source says that the Shazam deal fell apart because of the scheduling conflicts. So, yeah, it's like why should he wait around for you to make decisions about it when he deserves a full-on film? He deserves a Superman movie. And if you're going to toss him aside, why should he sit around and wait for you? You know? Deal fell apart because of scheduling conflicts, and that is backed up by the fact that Henry Cavill recently signed on to star in the Netflix series The Witcher. Well, I'll be watching the hell out of that. However, another source says that The Witcher commitment came after the Warner's impasse, suggesting a change in the studio's strategy. There's a recognition that some parts of the previous movies didn't work, says the studio insider. Another source says Warner's is trying to hit a reset button with the DC Universe, steering its ship slowly into another direction. So, yeah, okay. Good riddance, man. While Affleck and Cavill are segueing out, others who were seen together on screen in Justice League are carrying forward. Gal Gadot is returning for Wonder Woman 1984, set to hit theaters in November 2019. Jason Momoa. So, I don't know, man. What do you guys think about this? I mean, it's still, officially a rumor. So, it's officially something. It's a damn shame. If this is the truth, it's a damn shame that this is happening. But I mean, quite honestly, like you're throwing aside. They've basically hung up the cape already anyway. If they're gonna fast track a Supergirl movie after Justice League, like get your crap together, DC. Like, it's like you just don't even have any idea what you have. It's like you have no clue about the amazing characters and the history and the depth of story that's involved there and everything that you could be doing with it. It's like you've got Aquaman coming out this December, so that's coming out, and then you got Wonder Woman the very next day, next year. So what are you going to do from that? Are you going to... I don't know. Good riddance, man. That's all I have to say. If this is the way they're going to treat, the guy who's like badass, great Superman. I was a huge fan of Man of Steel. One of my favorite films of the decade. So good. And, hopefully this isn't real. But, if it is, oh well, good riddance. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm not even gonna finish this stupid article. Do you care? Is this something that you really... I really liked him as Superman. I thought he was great, so...